I knew I didn't want to work in fashion as such.
When I was a kid, I used to love fashion, and I have beautiful memories of me begging my mom for me to apply makeup on her or steal her lipstick every now and then and apply it on me. And then I started playing on a website called Roy World, which was a Korean website for dress-up games. I was obsessed with it, and Dad would absolutely hate it because that would mean having his laptop drowning in viruses. Then, no longer after that, I discovered the world of Polyvore, which was an online clothing, beauty, and home product collage tool where you could create, they would call it sets, and you would often use good quality images and just assemble these different pictures on top of each other, applying text or like just photographies. Fast forward to 2016, I was 20 years old and my dream was to be a fashion illustrator. After graduating from art high school, I started painting the looks in the latest runway fashion shows, initially using watercolors and colored pencils, and afterwards experimenting with acrylic paint. In 2017, I was applying to start my fashion design course in Venice in Italy. With 2 big suitcases, there I was, moving to the north of Italy, completely innocent that I would eventually realize the fashion world was not for me in the end. I went from drawing fashion illustrations to learning how to sew, and then to doing nothing but sewing and studying. Despite feeling quite proud and excited after understanding the process behind a piece of clothing, I was also being distanced from what I loved doing the most, which is to draw and to paint. I remember those days in Venice as the most independent version of myself, living on my own for the first time, with my parents being 5 hours away, having to learn in such fast pace everything in the fashion industry, leaving my student's residence at 7 in the morning to be in college by 8 and only coming back late in the evenings. It was all very different from what I used to do before. Having to then study for upcoming exams, sew shirts and dresses and pants, all in between cooking some food and doing some laundry, or running to get some groceries. My body was not coping well with that lifestyle. At one point, I started having health issues and had to quit college and pretty much move back to my parents' house. I don't know where that path could have brought me today, but something tells me I probably would have ended up being anything but a full-time artist. After that, I completely distanced myself from the fashion world, having the opportunity to be in that field and understand the behind the scenes made me not appreciate that environment. And I think as well, probably I was just a bit traumatized for my personal experience, which of course had to end quite quickly. I have great memories of my time there. I loved living in Venice, and every day coming back home from college, I would find myself thinking of how lucky I was to be able to pursue my studies in such a fantastic city. Walking or on the boat, both would be a great treat. You know, with so much beauty everywhere, it was just amazing. This painting I called Ponte Donna, and it refers to the times I went up the bridges of Venice carrying a suitcase with my sewing machine in it. At the time, we didn't have lockers in college to leave, heavy supplies behind. So with me, that sewing machine came up the Colli Veneziani a couple days of the week. With my sewing machine in Venice is another painting I recently finished. And here I am faced between the two worlds, fashion and art, with a sewing machine on the left and a white canvas on the right. Which is ironic because I actually never paint on canvases. With paper, it's just easy, cheap. I just like how it absorbs either the acrylic paint or, just like smudging the oil pastel. I always knew deep down what my true passion really was, but I wasn't being able to see it yet. I am eternally grateful to that experience, and today I keep thinking that no matter where we are in life, we are always learning, we are always growing and evolving, and there's definitely always a door that is being opened in front of us. And even if we don't know where it might bring us, it will for sure give us so much to treasure, and one day everything is going to make sense when looking back.